Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Andy Staples. I'm the Director of Research and Outreach at the Hinrich Foundation based here in Singapore. Delighted to be joined today by Research Fellow Alex Capri, who's just about to release a new paper in a series of papers that he's been working on this year. Alex, thanks very much for joining us. And I wonder if I could just pass over to you to get a quick taste of what this new paper is.
Well, as you mentioned, this is a second in a series. And this one focuses on techno-nationalism and the innovation race between China and the United States. And it reflects this paradigm shift that I've been writing about, which involves a move from sort of an open market, laissez-faire economic model, which we've had really going back to the 1980s, to a much more sort of state activist, interventionist world that is increasingly mercantilist. And so this paper hones in on the innovation portion of that techno-nationalist competition.
Yeah. As I read through the paper, you map out the implications of this for various sectors, including universities and multinationals as well. I wondered if you could focus in on that second aspect there, the implications of this for business.
Well, what we have developing in the international trade landscape under this new paradigm is a situation where we have growing tension between market forces and then state activists and state policies, and caught in the middle we have multinational companies that have extensive global value chains, that have very complex business footprints around the world. And in some cases, they will be pulled into this techno-nationalist arena as they're seen as assets, if you will, to governments. In other cases, they'll be targeted as hostile actors by opposing governments. Either they could be on the receiving end, for example, of export controls and restrictions and so forth. So the world is becoming more complicated in many ways for multinational companies.
Sure, increasingly sort of politicized business environment to navigate. And one final aspect of the paper that I found very compelling was this idea of a moonshot. I wonder if you could unpack that for us in a little bit more detail.
Well, we have to go back to the 1960s, the 1970s, when there was an ongoing Cold War between the United States and the former Soviet Union. And there was a technology race that was underway that really started with the launching of Sputnik, the satellite which orbited the Earth. The US responded with its famous so-called moonshot endeavors, which was essentially to put astronauts on the moon. And that resulted in huge inflows of research and development funding, public-private partnerships between the US government, research, academic institutions, and the private sector, and that produced results. So the fact that China has been massively investing in innovation through its various programs, such as Made in China 2025, China Standards 2035, Digital Belt and Road, and other things, that has really prompted what I would call would be and is going to be, I think, a second moonshot environment in the United States. And I would say the United States, together with its historic allies, will be looking at innovating.
Well, Alex, thanks very much for taking a bit of time to take us through some of the core components of this paper. Very timely, pertinent analysis. I would urge you all to go to our website where you can download the paper in full and enjoy it at your leisure. Thank you very much for joining us.